Hello everybody and welcome to our short video on off-the-job training hours. We will discuss what these are and how to log these upon Aptem. This video, along with the support presentation, is suitable for all apprentices and employers. However, the live demonstration will be focused solely upon the apprentice's dashboard and learning plan. So our objectives today will allow us to look at what off-the-job training is and why it is required within the apprenticeship. We will look at what does and doesn't count towards off the job training with some generic examples for this. We will then go to our live demonstration. Here we will look at where to access the off the job hours template, how to complete the template, and then finally how to upload it. And I'll go through the steps required for a successful upload. Finally, we will complete our presentation with a reminder into our contact details for any additional support that you may require. An apprenticeship is a job with a formal programme of training. As underpinned in legislation, off the job training is one of the essential components of a quality apprenticeship. To attract government funding, a 20% minimum threshold has been set. This is the minimum amount of time that should be spent on occupational off the job training during an apprenticeship. The new ESFA update has amended the off the job training policy, which now removes the language of the 20% of the apprentice's normal working hours. The new minimum off the job training requirement is 6 hours of off the job training per week for a full time equivalent. So, an individual who works 30 hours or more per week. To confirm, people who started the apprenticeship before the end of July 2022 will use the 20% minimum, but apprentice starts from the 1st of August 2022 will change to an average of 6 hours per week for each week on programme between the start date and planned gateway date. By definition, off the job training is a statutory requirement for an English apprenticeship. It is training which is received by the apprentice during the apprentice's normal working hours for the purpose of achieving the knowledge, skills, and behaviours of the approved apprenticeship referenced in the apprenticeship agreement. It is not on the job training, which is training received by the apprentice for the sole purpose of enabling the apprentice to perform the work for which they have been employed. The aim of any apprenticeship is to effectively gain the knowledge, skills, and behaviours relevant to the apprenticeship standard and be competent within their workplace. Once enrolled onto an active delivery plan, apprentices will produce and provide evidence to be accepted by their academic lecturer, and they will do this until Gateway. Gateway takes place before the endpoint assessment can start. Here, the employer and university will review the apprentice's knowledge, skills, and behaviours to see that they have met the minimum requirement of the apprenticeship and are now ready to take the assessment. The minimum requirements which must be met are they must display occupational competency, they must have evidence that they have passed functional skills, complete mandatory training, and take any qualifications set out in the standard. And there you can see in bold, the apprentice must meet the minimum duration for their apprenticeship training. Additional requirements may be applicable on certain apprenticeships, and academic and apprenticeship staff will inform the employer and the apprentice of these. In short, without evidence of off the job hours, gateway will not be achieved and therefore the learner cannot proceed to EPA, endpoint assessment. The apprenticeship funding rules state that off the job training can include the following: the teaching of theory, for example, university led delivery, practical training, shadowing, mentoring, industry visits, learning support, and time spent writing assignments. The apprenticeship funding rules state that off the job training does not include training that does not relate to the knowledge, skills, and behaviours in the standard, progress reviews because they impart no new knowledge for that learner, training which takes place outside the apprentice's normal working hours, and English and maths which is funded separately. If it is unclear whether an activity is off the job training, there's an easy way to check. So there are 4 key tests. Is the person signed up to the apprenticeship program? Is the activity directly related to the apprenticeship? Is the activity teaching new knowledge, skills, and behaviours? And is the learning taking place in the apprentice's normal working hours? If the answer to all four questions is yes, then the activity can be regarded as off the job training. So I am now logged in to Aptem as a learner, so an apprentice, and this will be my learner dashboard that I visited on login. If I hover over this left-hand menu and scroll down to the resource centre, if I click in here, there are lots of useful resources to help guide me through the apprenticeship. And in here, you'll see a tag system support, and there will live the off the job hours template. So there's lots of useful information in here. If you haven't already visited the resource centre, it's well worth a visit. If I scroll back up then and look into the learning plan, I will now see all the components which will make up my training plan throughout the apprenticeship. Note that monthly off the job hours isn't required in the first month on programme, and that is because we ask apprentices to log their hours retrospectively. So June's hours would be logged in July. So our first monthly off the job entry will be a second month of programme, and if we click into that component, you will see the off the job hours template held within there. So once you click into there, if you save it onto your desktop or into a sort of file, then you have that there saved for each month that you need to log these hours. So before we log our hours, we're just going to look into July's entry. You'll notice that you've got pre-TPR workbook here as a digital learning asset. This is a requirement for the TPR, so apprentices are asked to complete this 2 weeks prior to the TPR. And you'll see Head Start modules. Now these do not count towards your off-the-job training. And then you'll see a module relating to the apprenticeship, so the degree. If you click into there, you'll open up a right window, which will give you some instructions here and ask you to upload evidence that you have successfully completed that module. If you upload file, you'll be greeted with this window here, and you'll need to complete this in full. So evidence type, for the purpose of the demonstration, we'll just click Other. And today's date will be given in the completion. So if you need to backdate it for any reason, you just highlight and click into the calendar. What we are asking that apprentices do is to deselect the does not count towards off the job training hours and instead log these on the off the job template. So any components that sit within the learning plan that do count towards off the job training, please log these on your template. Do not log these here. Okay, so deselect that and then select your file, upload proof that you have completed that module, and then save. What you'll notice now is on your learning plan that this status has changed to evidence submitted, given in this sort of orange colour, and that will now alert your academic lecturer to notify them that you have submitted evidence for this module. So we have downloaded our off-the-job template, saved it somewhere safe on our desktop, and when you open it, you will open it in Word. So it's completely editable, so you can add your entries for each month. And what we've given at the start of the template is a table with some suitable descriptions that can count towards your off-the-job training. So university-led delivery, academic writing, reading, research, placements, supervised working, work-based learning, and continued professional development. Then scrolling down here is your table, and this is where you will submit your monthly hours. So you're asked to fill in all areas of the table and then give a completion total hours there. So I filled in my name, my employer, and the date for this monthly entry is July. So they're July's hours, which will be logged in August. Then we're asked to confirm that our hours are completed in contractual working hours, and I have just highlighted yes, but you could maybe delete no or give a tick, that's fine. So for date, you're going to give each date of the activity, then give a learning activity description. So for instance, on the 2nd of July, I visited Lancaster and had a day at the university learning, and that totaled to 6 hours. And you can see here some other useful descriptions that were suitable for off-the-job training. Note here is my module that was sat in my learning plan. So instead of accounting hours towards it on Aptem, I've now logged it into the template. So that was 6 hours there. And my pre-TPR workbook took me 30 minutes. So once I've completed all my entries, I'm going to give a total, save it, and then it's ready for upload. So we're back into the learning plan and we're going to click into August's monthly off the job component. The right window will open, gives you some information or some instructions there, and you're going to click into upload file. Again, I'm going to click other. It's going to be August. So let's say it was the 15th of August. If I remember rightly, it was 32 hours. And then you must select this final option. This work was completed during paid working hours. So you select that and then upload your file. Okay. And then click save. And then what that will do again is the status of the component will change to evidence submitted and alert your academic lecturer that you have uploaded evidence for this. So if I now click back into my dashboard and I look at my off the job hours card, I can see there that I have submitted hours within August. Okay, so any completed hours are given in a dark blue colour and any submitted hours are given in a lighter blue colour. And this just means that they're awaiting approval. So once your academic lecturer marks those hours and checks them, they will either accept them, which will mean that August's entry will turn dark blue, or they will refer them, which means that you have to resubmit them. And your lecturer will give you some feedback and feed forward for that. So just quickly in the background, I have logged in as this apprentice's academic lecturer and I have now marked those hours. So you will see that I've accepted them and they are now complete, which means that the hours turn to a dark blue colour on the off the job hours card. So they have been approved. So that brings us to our the end of the presentation. There are additional slides available in the presentation which will be provided with the video. For further information about off-the-job training, please contact apprenticeships@cumbria.ac.uk or any additional information can be found at gov.uk also. As displayed in our previous videos, additional support relevant to your Aptem account can be found at aptem@cumbria.ac.uk. We have uploaded our support videos to our University of Cumbria YouTube channel, where you can find tutorials on dashboards, TPRs, and off the job hours. For apprentices, you can find these within your resource centre, as we shown during the live demo. Sadly, this is not yet a function for our employer accounts. We hope that you have found this video useful. As ever, we'd appreciate your feedback or recommendations into how to drive our platform forward. So please do get in touch and let us know your thoughts. But for all of us today, from the apprenticeship team, we thank you and wish you a great day. Thank you. Goodbye.